What's up, everybody? How we doing here? Saturday, July 14th, 2018. Hope everybody's doing good. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. It's been a little while since since I've done one. Just a quick reminder, I'm not an advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk charts, talk crypto. You can find me, of course, on Twitter at Big Cheds. I'll go ahead and pull up my account here at Big Cheds. If you're not familiar with my partner in crime, he's on Twitter at Big Chonis. I usually do a show with him, just not today. So let's start out with Bitcoin, and then we're going to jump over to the chat room and kind of see what you guys are feeling, what you guys want me to take a look at. So how do we feel here about Bitcoin? Let's start out with a daily chart here and just kind of to get a little picture here. So clearly we're in the downtrend. But we've kind of been hanging in there recently. Clearly we have this bottom here that's been marked back on, what day was this? Back in June 28th, we had this bottom here where we closed 58.48, and we're kind of holding higher lows for now. So what we're watching here in the daily chart, one thing that jumps right out, it's clearly your stochastic RSI is resetting, potentially gearing up for a bounce. On balance volume is weak. And we're seeing a little bit of early strength in the RSI rebounding here. But we have to kind of see how it plays out. Looking at the candles, it's kind of a battle between bears and bulls right now. Yesterday we had a doji, almost a spinning top. Really, it's just showing you some indecision here. We had this big push down. After the nice bounce off the aforementioned 5800, we had this push down, and the price is trying to consolidate. So let's just zoom in a little bit closer so we can kind of see what's going on here. So we're zooming in. What are we doing here? What kind of a pattern do we see? Clearly, we have our downtrend. Here, we have the middle Bollinger Band acting as resistance. A little bit of a push here the last 3-4 hour candles, maybe 4 or 5 if you kind of consider this potentially an inverted hammer here. But there's not a lot of volume. We're not seeing any kind of like really strong buy pressure. So I mean, this really kind of could go either way, and it might just trade sideways for a while, which is okay because we know that when Bitcoin trades sideways, altcoins can run. This is a notable area here because this is an area of prior resistance. So we had our pullback. It tried to bounce. It was rejected here at this 6,200 area. We came down and briefly came over it, back under it, and then it was rejected again at 6,200. So this is kind of a key area. Pardon me, a key area. You can see how this acted as resistance, support rather, back on the 12th. And we're holding this level. So if we actually can hold here, and the close was 61.65, if we continue to close above 61.65, that's a good sign for the bulls here in the short term. That we may make another run here at this 6,800 level. But first, we have to kind of continue to hold this area right here. So that's Bitcoin. We'll do Ethereum and Litecoin later. I want to just kind of go through some of these requests to get these out of the way. First, Machine Gun Jera is asking about ZRX, and ZRX is a token you guys have heard me talking about for many, many months. For the longest time, it was the only one in my cold wallet. It's still in my cold wallet. The reason why I do that, and it's the Nano S, Ledger Nano S, is so I'm just not tempted to sell it. So what do we have here? We just had the news as well. Maybe I'll go ahead and pull that up just so some people who don't follow it potentially as closely as I do or others may do. I'm just going to pull it up here for you guys. So, and real quick, I want to make sure you can hear me okay in the chat room. Looks like you can. So it looks like Coinbase announced that they were considering or probably will be adding a bunch of tokens. IOTA, BAT, XLM, ZEC, and ZRX. And contrary, when they first rolled out Bitcoin Cash, it was a surprise. They had a huge run. I think they're being smart, kind of announcing a bunch of these at a time, ahead of time, giving the market a chance to price it in. and have more of a natural price rise. And what we're seeing on these, including ZRX, now ZRX is already in a bullish, which is kind of rather bullish compared to the other altcoins. A lot of the other altcoins, when they bottomed when Bitcoin did at 5,800, then they had a little bounce and they pulled back. But ZRX kept making higher highs until right here on the 6th of July, it started to put in lower highs and was in the process of consolidating, like right here. So this was our initial peak. This was our anticipated pullback, and it was almost textbook that it caught support here. We have this nice hammer and almost a dragonfly doji, but it's got a candle body. And then it came back and it retested that low, and the low of that candle was 12255. And low 22, that held. If you see here, I'm looking at all these candles. 12255 was the low. So oftentimes when I talk about this, so this is a nice signal, this hammer or this dragonfly, depending on how you want to mark it. A lot of times your best entry comes on the retest of support. So you wouldn't want to buy potentially right here, even on the confirmation when you broke above, closed above this. It's really on the retest of that range. So anywhere here in this lower wick would have been a really nice buy, and it was. So that was a real nice technical signal. I did do an alert on Bitcoin Live. I think on the 1 hour, we started to notice some bullish divergence, and that was an early sign that it was going to bounce, and it has been bouncing. So now we're in a bit of a consolidation period. What's ZRX doing right now? So we have this upper wick here. We clearly have some resistance marked, which is right up here at 166.01. So that's 16.6 level, and it ran there. When it ran there on the 4 hour, you see how high above that upper Bollinger Band it was. That's a price movement outside of a standard deviation. It's taken some time to catch up. What's notable to me is, so you have the really nice buy volume here. Look how little sell volume there was follow up, right? How little follow up sell volume. That's a sign of potential bullish continuation to come. So we're seeing that consolidation here. Little bit of a falling wedge bull break here. I believe I pointed out in the 1 hour, we just recently broke the pattern of lower highs. So here's our lower high 1, here's our lower high 2, and just 2 hours ago, we broke that, which is a signal of potential new leg up to come. We don't see any kind of volume yet to show really a lot of strength. Hopefully we would see that on the breakout. You want to see the volume here come on the breakout. So in general, I am quite bullish on ZRX right now. I think we are going to continue here and potentially retest this level. It might get rejected again for a little while, then come back and maybe retest it for a third time. So I would keep an eye on this, but in general, I am quite bullish on ZRX. Let's go back to the chat room. I'm going to go down in order. Ali says, loving BNB, one of my top holdings. Let's go ahead and we'll just do BNB real quick. BNB, the Binance coins, currently under 20K, which is an important level psychologically. Bulls are looking for a reason to bounce. Even this stochastics bottom and cross doesn't give me a ton of confidence, because look what happened back here. Pardon me, it gave us a little bit of a false signal. So you can't really draw a lot of confidence from that. RSI really isn't oversold. We do have bullish divergence where the price is putting in higher lows. Sorry, the oscillator, in this case the RSI, right here we're putting in higher lows, and you have lower lows in the price. That's an early sign of a potential reversal, but we're not seeing it with the on-balance volume. That's the key indicator I want to see the divergence with. As you can see, the slope, the decline here in the on-balance volume is matching the price of BNB. So I really wouldn't be too confident just yet. I mean, you might see a tiny bounce here to the middle Bollinger, but we now have middle Bollinger being the MA20, simple moving average 20. 1, 2, we now have 3 rejection points here right at the MA20. So I probably would expect this to bounce to the MA20, the middle Bollinger, and get rejected again. So for now, we're still bullish. I'm sorry, we're still bearish, I apologize, on BNB. let's take a look about. So AYTOWN, ATOWN is the person's name. I would love to hear about Coinbase ads, etc. ADA, XLM, BAT, etc. So let's just do those real quick. So ADA, clearly bullish for me. You have a bullish continuation pattern potentially. You're working on a, here we go. Potentially you could working on a bullish pennant continuation pattern. These two dojis here, or these two kind of spinning tops, signifying indecision after the pullback, finding support, and now we're trying to push up, although there's not convincing volume yet. But clearly we're in a bullish continuation pattern on ADA. On BAT, it's the exact same thing, a bullish continuation pattern. You can argue a bull pennant, or you can argue a bull flag that just broke out, where you had the lower highs and the lower lows, and then it broke out. That would look something like this, just so you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. It's not exactly what I want to do, and it's being funky. So basically this is just what I'm saying. By the way, when I talk about potentially a bull flag, you know, look something like that. Anyway, it's not drawing it correctly. And regardless, so regardless, it's a bullish continuation pattern in BAT, XLM, and what is it, ZEC, XLM, stellar lumens, bullish continuation pattern. You could argue flagpole and pennant, and we're kind of really breaking out of it here. So this looks quite good to me. XLM looks good right here. And probably ZEC is going to look the same. ZEC, BTC. Yep, bullish continuation pattern. So all of these are, they've already partially factored in the news. And that would be, you know, so halfway up the flagpole here. Then you have all this profit taking, because this is just too high, too fast. You have some profit taking at that point. So let's go back to the chat room. I want to get your requests taken care of. NULS, NULS. Ben Newman wants me to look at NULS. NULS. NULS BTC. This is a 4-hour I'm looking at. And I try not to look at anything less than a 4-hour, because I kind of feel like you get whipsaw or whiplash. This is bullish to me still. We have one high. Now we have a higher high. We have a low. And we're potentially maybe putting in the higher low here. So there's a bit, you know, a bit of a channel being drawn here right now. Short term, it is quite bullish. Notably, we cleared this resistance back on July 2nd. This is our breakout. On this breakout candle, we pulled back to support. The support coincided with this prior peak here, this horizontal support. So it's notable, just for studying, that the price pulled back. It found support at a logical level, which is right here. A new breakout as well here. And look where the price is potentially finding support, right here at this prior peak. So this is actually pretty textbook right now. I think we see bullish continuation, especially with the on balance volume. I think that looks quite good. I'm going to go ahead and remove my marks there. Let's go ahead and take a look at BNB. Okay. All right. Any thoughts on EOS by Ellie? E-L-L-E is asking me about EOS. EOS. I mean, you can't ignore all this volume. Let me just remove some marks here. You can't ignore all this volume. This is bottom type of volume, where you see this strong cluster here, and higher lows are holding for now. So here's your low 1, here's your low 2, and stochastics RSI is hinting at a move up here. So I think this moves up here in the short term, probably to test this high 11117. So I think this moves up a little bit. We see a test of the 117 here area shortly. That's my opinion on EOS. HM, can you chart Sky? Okay. SKY, I think is that one available? SKY, BTC, Skycoin. Skycoin's bullish. And what's interesting is you can see we're testing resistance right now. So this is a potential breakout in progress. However, it wouldn't be unlikely to get rejected here and come back and need to consolidate once again and potentially find support like right here. So I could see it get rejected and come back here, which is right where this support level was prior. So keep an eye on that. Although RSI shows a little more room to run. This is bullish here in the 4 hour, by the way, Sky. DGB, Digibyte. I know there's a lot of fans of Digibyte. Very popular one. DGD, DGB. 561 Satoshis. It's bearish, but has a decent chance of finding support right here. Close in this candle. 547. So yeah, you actually might see this bounce here. You got the stochastics. But RSI is not really that oversold yet. On-balance volume is pretty much matching the price, so no clues there. So I could totally see this bouncing here. However, I could also see it breaking and a bounce coming around 503, 505 level. So if you want to, you could scale in here, potentially put your stop, and then you'd have your second buy maybe be right down here. But it could bounce. Certainly a possibility. I apologize, Royski. I don't do Bitcoin Cash. I can't support their marketing. It's really shady what they're doing. So I cannot support Bitcoin Cash what they're doing. I just think it's disingenuous and it's bad for the community as a whole. IOTA, IOTA. Wow, look at that. Look how the Bollinger Bands are pinching here on the 4 hour. This suggests to me that we're nearing some type of a move up. I really want to see this on-balance volume showing more strength to give me confidence it will be a move up. RSI is certainly suggesting it as is the stock RSI. We both. It's not. I don't know if it's technically bullish divergence because you do have higher lows. Pardon me. But if you look at the slope, I know there's a way to do like the percentage angle, the slope, and Lonus. What's his name? He could show me, but let's see. But you can see basically the slope of the RSI and the slope of the stochastics RSI. It's kind of rising a little bit higher than the price. So that's a little bit of strength. Right there. But on balance volume, not so much. But either way, this will be decided in the next probably 10 hours. I mean, look how tight those Bollinger Bands are. All right. Let's see. GNT for RTR Tovar. GNT. I don't see that one here. Golem. Sounds like a World of Warcraft coin. I mean, it's bearish. Clearly, it's bearish. You have some divergence with the RSI and the stock RSI, but not with the on-balance volume. So this is probably like a bearish consolidation pattern. Maybe I don't know if I go out more, it'll be like a bear pennant. I mean, this is still pretty bearish. Hold on one second. I had to cough. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is pretty bearish for me right now, GNT. So I would be careful. I wouldn't be looking to open up a new position. And I guess I would say bulls, you want to make sure price continues to close above 44.39. Theta, Clonius, Theta. Theta looks okay here. We've got higher lows. So low 1, low 2, almost a morning star. And low 3 here. This looks pretty decent. This may have a more meaningful reversal soon, but clearly the price had some trouble earlier in this area here, 2100, 2200 area. So I don't think we're going to break through it right here given the volume. Maybe you can go up here you know, whatever, get rejected, pull back, and potentially put in a higher low. So that would be the goal of bulls right now, to do that. Have we looked at Lend? Doombull Dork Von Doom wants to look at Lend. Not as bullish as the last one. It's pretty flat here. Bollingers are pinching. You know, we're looking for strength. We have a little bit of strength here. A bullish. It's technically a bullish harami, but it's really not. You know, for bullish harami, you want two things. First of all, you want more volume in the second candle, and you want a larger, big red candle. Where's my bullish harami? Like, it's technically a bullish harami, but I talk about this. You need to have a larger first candle. It's not. I mean, this isn't big enough to be a harami. This, you know, the first candle. All right, so this is okay. I'm not super impressed with this one, but it is holding higher lows. So again, higher lows is the name of the game. BitConnect. Yeah, I'll do John Jansen. Let's do BitConnect. WAN chain. Is it WAN for Larry Bands? BANDZ. WAN. And no problem, Dumbledore. I'm happy to do that. And guys, you know, I do have Super Chat enabled, so you're more than welcome to throw me a couple pennies for doing your chart requests. WAN chain for Larry Bands. I have a lot of old marks here, so let's remove those just because let's get a clear picture. So I would say the bears are kind of running out of steam. I mean, it's been pushing, and now we're going sideways. You go downtrend, sideways, uptrend, right? That's the path it needs to take. So we're going sideways here. You really want to hold right here, though. I mean, you don't want to close below here. Our high close 31.69. What about this one? 31.60. Yeah, 31.69. 31. Yeah, so 31.69 higher low. Technically a higher low on the close, and here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. In theory, higher low on these red candle closes. You need to maintain that for bulls to have any chance. But it's just nothing. There's not convincing. Either way, so there's no clear trend right here. Clearly, the downtrend trend has stopped, but I still would give a slight edge to the bears until the bulls really show some conviction. Chun-Li will do Salt. Isn't that a name from Street Fighter? Chun-Li, Salt, BTC. I have two of them for some reason. Bittrex and let's go to Binance because there's more volume. Always go where there's more volume. Yeah, I mean, it's tried to bounce a couple times. Look at these upper wicks, and look where it was rejected twice. Boom. Boom right there, right? So our high, 1750, our high here. 1749, so that's your level. Bulls are unable to break through. Clearly, you do have a nice downtrend break here, and this middle Bollinger Head acted as resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of. And we're broken through the middle Bollinger, and look how it's kind of support right now, the MA20. On balance volume's okay. RSI, these are all pretty good. And you were hinting here at a cross back up, although this candle just started. And the stock RSI is based on the close, so we can't really put too much weight into this signal just yet. Again, higher lows still holding. So bulls are kind of inching towards a retest of this important 1750 level. Grant Freer, let's take a look at WTC. WTC. You had higher highs and you had higher lows until this broke. You've just lost this higher low here. So this is bearish short term. We just broke this low right here. I'll put a circle right there. You just broke this higher low. So, and these candles are bearish. I mean, there's no real strength just yet. So I guess right now we're going to watch WTC to see maybe this area. I don't know if it's going to retest it, but that'd be interesting. Yeah. I mean, RSI is going to have to go lower, probably down to the mid to low 30s. I think this goes lower, personally. Certainly 10K test is likely, in my opinion, WTC. I'm just gonna do a couple more. What is GoChain? What's the symbol for GoChain? Someone's asking me to do GoChain. What is that? I don't know by the name of the project. If you can pull that up, I'll do it. I'll do it afterwards. Rohit. Let's take a look at Neo for Rohit. It's pretty weak. We're still downtrending here, huh? This is like a clear downtrend line right here. You know, I mean, it's not expertly drawn, but you can kind of get the general sense of that. Where are we finding support? Right here corresponds with this peak. So I like to go back, you know, on like a pullback. I try to look to see where logical support would be. That's one level there, which we're kind of showing some strength at. Maybe like right there. Oopsie. Like right there. So those are two levels I'm watching, and boom, look at that. Look at the lower shadow. Look at the lower shadow on this candle. It's right here at 5022. So yeah, this is probably a logical area actually for the price, for the bulls to recover. We have this really nice. So we have the downtrend that everything's downtrending. Bitcoin hits 5,800. You have a nice bounce and a pullback, and you pull back to support. That's what you do after you're done consolidating. This looks like it could be finding support right here. So I'm actually slightly favorable on Neo from here. What is the symbol? I still can't do GoChain, Kevin Gonzalez. What's the symbol for GoChain? I don't know it off the top of my head, sorry. Let's do just a couple more. SC for Dragan Jojic. I just did Neo, Brad. SC. See a coin. Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of volume. It's on Bittrex. I wonder if they're on. Are they on Binance? Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's kind of weak. C-Coin's pretty weak here. You might be able to go sideways for a while, but we still have lower highs until you can break that. Until you can break back above 167, the bears are still going to be in control. GoChain. Okay, I've never heard of it. Let's try GOBTC. Sorry, GoChain is not available for charting on TradeView. So, oh, it's GOT? GOT? Like Game of Thrones? No, no dice. No dice in GoChain, guys. Sorry about that. Unavailable to be charted. In my opinion, you really shouldn't pay attention to anything you can't chart in TradingView yet. So let's go ahead. I'm going to just wrap things up here. I've done pretty much every request. I hope you guys appreciated that. It's fun for me too for practice. Litecoin, it's like a consolidation triangle here. This is a equilibrium pattern where we have lower highs, lower high, lower high, higher low, higher low. So some point here soon we're going to have to break either way. I think we break higher. I think we break the lower high pattern here actually on Litecoin. So my guess, and it's a guess, is we break 78.60 here in the next 48 hours. On Litecoin, I will do Ethereum as well. Let's remove all these old markings. Yeah, I mean Ethereum is still holding its higher low. It's still holding here on the bottom. And this is a little bit of a double Eve bottom, an even Eve bottom where you have this rounded bottom. It's kind of like a like an even Eve bottom here. But we still need to break 442. 442. So it's had some trouble here, 442. And here the high of this candle, 440. So we're heading, we're approaching a very important test here. You know, any minute it will be notable how the price handles that test. If the price can break above 442, that would be a nice short-term signal for Ethereum. And Bitcoin, while we are talking here, looks like it's had a little push. It's pushing on 6270. That's a nice little move there. And we are close to testing this high, 6277. So 6270. So we're close to testing this high, 6277. That will be notable if we can break this. This is our high right now, 62.77 to break. So keep an eye on that. If we do break through, that should be a nice signal, and then we'll have to deal with 63.39 as well. And if we can break that, then the bulls will be starting to get some momentum. On that note, I want to thank everyone for joining me. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing these shows. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. I really do enjoy the back and forth. And before I go, I'm just going to pull up one more thing here. So you guys have heard me talk about Bitcoin Live. It's a project that I'm involved with, that I am honored to be involved with. There's some really great teachers, some analysts I'm working with. And, more or less, it's the best-in-class educational platform. That's how I think about it. That's what it is. We have a lot of really great material, premium material we've been putting together for you guys. I know I personally have been working on some signals, bearish and bullish signals guides. Basically updates to the complete crypto guide on my blog. And each one of the analysts kind of has been doing their own thing, putting out a different series of articles. We do a lot of alerts where we try to give you guys signals, entry and exit, stop loss, target, as well. But, it's not just to give a man a fish or a woman a fish. You want to teach them how to fish. So we're really trying to teach you to become self-sufficient as traders. It's a really wonderful project. If you go to the link you'll see in this video or on my blog, you can get access to all these webinars just to see what each of the teachers are all about, get a sense of our personality. And, what's pretty cool is we're now offering like a monthly and a quarterly option. So, we had the founders launch, and it was just to sign up for a year at once, but I know a lot of people are interested in just trying it out, and you can just try it out now. There's a monthly and a quarterly option, so I definitely encourage you guys to go ahead and check that out. And on that note, I want to thank everyone for joining me today, and I will see you guys again soon. Have fun out there. Take care. Peace.